Okay, so I got to sell one of these cameras, the Lumix S5 kit lens version, full frame, or the Pocket 3. Like every time I turn it on, every time I look at it, it just makes me happy just touching it and being a part of something so small and so smart. And one of the most important things is that it has webcam capabilities going especially in 4K. Now that we know that it costs around $700 or so used in Australia, you get an idea of what you're getting as the creator combo. You're getting all the things that you can go live without buying all the accessories that you need with the S5, Lumix S5, which I'll go through when I swap cameras. That way you get an idea of what the picture quality looks like when I swap them around. But without this, this clicks into the USB, which is right here, and that turns into a webcam, and you've got the settings in Windows or Mac. You can change it to whatever resolution you want, and also the frame rates as well. This will keep on giving it juice, and you can go on for hours and hours and hours. I'll get to the next thing. So you got to have this little adapter. Okay, so without that, you can't do it. With the external battery, you can do it, but it also can die. So sometimes you have issues, but you definitely have to use this thing. Let's say don't trust a wireless microphone when you want to go live. This is for an emergency only, and you definitely want to go with cables, a cable and an audio interface to go live with, because you might get delays, you might get interferences with this, and I've done videos on this before. So yes, it's really good quality, but I would recommend using a cable microphone or a USB microphone to link it up when you're going on OBS or TikTok Live. Overheating problems, this is a really big issue. There isn't any. You can go live with both cameras without overheating on hot days or anything like that. I've actually used that camera, the S5, outside, and it doesn't, I'm getting off track. I should be talking about that. I've gone live with this as well for hours and hours and hours. It does not overheat. What else? What are the things that you need to go live when it comes to accessories with the Pocket 3? You just need you need a high quality USB-C. That's USB 3 or the highest versions, USB 3.1 or whatever it is, to run it with power and high resolution without any issues. So definitely get a high quality cable, which I'm using, and I've actually extended it as well. So it works well. That's the Pocket 3. Now let's talk about the S5, and I'm going to just change the cameras around now. Right, so I've just connected the Pocket 3. We're going to be talking about the S5. On that note, I'm going to hook up the 15mm lens that comes with it. And now you can see even further, all the way down to the couch and pillows and all the stuff that I had on the couch and the desk and all the other stuff. You can even see my monitor all the way here as well, and you can see a bit further. So the 15mm lens that comes in the box with the Pocket 3 is actually pretty good when you're in a really tight spot as well. So that's the lens. Let's talk about the S5 and what you're going to need to go live. Obviously the camera, the body, the capture card, a dummy battery, a microphone. Those are the things you're going to need extra on top of the camera. But you got to have a dummy battery. No matter what happens, you got to get one of those. And those are pretty expensive. So that's an extra like 30, 40 bucks there you have to add to your price. I shouldn't be talking about prices. You guys can do your research when it comes to going live. What else? Then you got the audio thing. So yeah, you can run it through the HDMI, but I don't recommend it because there's a massive delay between those two as well. So you have to run an external microphone like what I'm running right now through an audio interface as well. So that's another thing too. The onboard microphone is just not up to par to make it sound like this, for example. Then the next thing is overheating. I did not notice any overheating. The camera is pretty good. Again, for overheating, it does not overheat. It's really good when it comes to that. I did a 2.5, 3 hour podcast outside in the sun, no problems at all. So really good with the cooling on that. And that's at 4K. And then the autofocus and image control and all that. So yeah, it's not the best when it comes to autofocus, but it's still really good. I ended up perfecting it, and there's a lot of firmware updates that's happened ever since the camera has been out, and they kind of fixed that. So I haven't had any problems with autofocus. It's just you got to make sure that you're watching it and making sure that you have control over it. It's not a, click and record kind of walk away kind of a thing. You got to make sure that everything's functioning. So that's another thing too. So it's got a lot more controls when it comes to the manual setup. The build quality and everything, it's waterproof. I think it's water resistant. Yeah, overall, when it comes to resale, I think that the S5 is going to hold its value a lot better than the Pocket 3, because the Pocket 3, everyone's got a Pocket 3. Apparently it's the camera that broke the internet. We are in OBS. I wanted to show you guys just the simple setup of setting up the camera. If I go into the camera settings, which I've just put in as Lumix S5, you can see the cam link is activated, and also the resolution, the highest frame rate, which I've got it at 30, so it's on NTSC, which I can add it, which is the highest. I can go to 25. But I don't want to put it on 25. I like it at 30 because the way I move and flow is much more smoother. And everything else is pretty much left standard. So there's that. And then the filter that I've added, if I go to filters on that, which is here, and then go to filters, I've added a LUT to it because I'm filming in Vlog. If I turn off Vlog, this is what it looks like. See how dull it is? But because I've got a picture profile setting added, I like it to be around 0.6%, but I can go full blast and you can see how much color it adds, which I don't need. But I think around 0.6 is great. You can also add your own picture profiles, which you can see I'm just highlighting just there with my mouse. So you can add your own picture profiles if you want to change the color ratio and all that kind of stuff. You can also put the camera into standard mode, which is pretty good, I think. Standard is great. And also you can put it into natural mode. I think it's natural. So you've got a few color profiles in the Lumix S5. Everything else that you see here is about audio and other things, so nothing to worry about. Okay, so let's talk about the Pocket 3's picture profile settings. I've got it on D-Log. I think it's D-Log, which is DJI's profile picture. Now, if I go to, to Pocket 3 and go to filters, and here is the standard picture profile. You can see how dull it is there. But if I put it here, so DJI actually gives you a LUT file. It's D-Log M, and that's the actual profile that I've installed here. So if I bring it back to factory, and that's what it looks like with D-Log M, and then if I bring it to about 50%, which I like, you can see all the reds come up, you can see all the blues come up. This is the settings for the Pocket 3. Configure. So everything's set to standard on that. And then you can change the resolution here. Yeah, so you can go to 1080p or 720p if you want to. And obviously I've got 30 frames per second. You can go higher if you want to. You can go to 60. But don't forget that the higher you go on those things, the harder it's going to get as a camera, which I have not tested when it comes to 60 frames per second for long hours of time. Everything else is left to standard. So if you don't have a big giant microphone like this one here, you can always use the onboard microphone. You can hear the quality is pretty good. I've got the level at 80% through Windows, and you got to check that. And also Now that I've done that, so here's the best part, right? Let's hook in the lapel mic. So this is the DJI lapel mic, and you can hear the difference straight away if I just hook it up to my shirt somehow. There we go. I just hooked it up. So that way you can get up and you can walk around. So you don't have to be locked into the one spot with a microphone, for example. You have to sit in that one spot to talk to people. And if you want to get up and walk around and be active, this is probably the best part. You don't have to be sitting in one spot. Really good. I really like the quality of this microphone. It's actually really nice. But when you go straight to the wireless microphone thing, which I like too, it's got a little more bass. It's a different kind of microphone. The settings in OBS, I've got it all set to 0, so there's nothing on. So if I go to, I just want to show you. So let's just move this over. Everything's off. Gain is on now. Compression is on. Limiter is on. Expander is on. So this is how I normally would have it with this big giant microphone here. But you can see I'm holding this mic, and now it's limited. It's probably like it's going to sound a lot different. So this is with processing on. Now let's try something else. Turn all these off. Yeah. And then what I'm going to do is, apparently when you hold down this button once, so now this is its own processing. So it's got noise cancellation on. That means that when it goes like a green color, I don't know if you can see it, when it goes green like that, it means that it tries to cut out all that background noise. So if you're in a gym or in a very noise heavy place, it will do its best to cut that out. But let's put it back to normal. And this is normal settings. So just letting you guys know about that. Let's get back to the normal mic. Let's do that now. I'm going to turn this off. So back to, so even though I just turned the microphone off, right, and that's the onboard microphone that you're hearing now, right, through the onboard camera system. And it's still at 80%, but if I'm going to completely turn it off. Put my microphone back on, which is this guy here. I really love the Pocket 3 and I really love the S5. It's probably, they're both almost the same when it comes to what you want, what I want to do when it's, you know, being creative and all that kind of stuff. One of those things is the size. When you're taking that big giant thing outside, people think that they have to act straight, don't swear, just be someone else. But when they see a little tiny Pocket 3, they just be themselves. They become who they want to become. They become, like, they don't change. That's who they are. They're not scared of it. You know, the Pocket 3 is a cute little eye thing, head thing that moves around, and people know that you're a content creator. But when they see a big giant camera, like, oh, this guy's serious, this person's serious, and I'm scared. So there's those things when you're outside. But when you're actually inside, I really like using the big giant camera because it's very precise, it's very accurate, and it has a lot more controls. These are the things that I'm trying to explain to you guys. How much control do you want over your signature when it comes to your live stream? And you're going to be limited on the Pocket 3, unfortunately. And so I have to think about it, and I still don't know which one I want to sell off still. And I would love for you guys to give me some kind of comments. Give me some comments on which one do you think that I should sell moving forward. Thank you for watching.